I believe the reason why you see the stock market tanking the way it's going down, searching for 5,000 as quickly as it possibly can, and the banks aren't lending money, no jobs are being created. There is a sense of gloom even on a sunny day across the American plains, is because people are beginning to fear Obama. Yeah, people are beginning to sense now what they should have sensed during the primary, when people were trying to say that Obama is a Muslim, that Obama is a socialist, that Obama is a radicalist that hates America, that Obama does not salute the American flag, will not wear the American flag pin, that these things were said throughout the campaign, but America said, ha, 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 we don't believe it, and so therefore we don't fear him. You're just speaking against him because he's a black man. You're saying those things because he's a black man. You're trying to put a black poll tax on him, many said, and we're going to vote for him. Family members were divided over this very issue. But now, Americans are afraid that Obama is going to turn this nation into a socialist nation. And as a result of that, nobody has any confidence that America will soon recover or that Obama will not succeed. And so therefore, and then they're caught in a double whammy. They're doubled down on this issue of fear of Obama. They are fearing now that he has a mandate, a carte blanche mandate to do exactly what he wants to do, because the Obama supporters are not going to now stand up and say, hey, we don't trust you. We fear you. They're not going to do that because there's such a racial tension going on. And by the way, we have finally got ourselves a race war. I mean, we finally got ourselves a nationalized, publicized, dignified race war. Did you see Bobby Jindal last night from Louisiana? I told y'all about him. He's darker than Obama. He's a man of color, Asian boy. He came to America in his mother's womb. She had carried him 4 months before they arrived there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Well, we finally got ourselves a race war, a dignified one now, because Obama, being many of the white folk who are suffering through white guilt, have chosen him as their poster boy. Now the Republicans have chosen Bobby Jindal, and to back him up with Michael Steele, an African-American from Maryland, former lieutenant governor. We got ourselves a race war. And by the way, last night, watching the speech that Obama, the long-legged Mac Daddy, gave, I was noticing that many of the Republicans, Obama was interrupted 65 times in a 50-minute speech. I mean, he'd say, my name is Obama. They go, and my middle name is Hussein. They go, but I'm not connected to Saddam Hussein. They go, I mean, the man could hardly speak a word without applause. But I noticed something last night. Were y'all watching as well? I noticed that people of truth and people of righteousness and justice, and also the conservative Republican Party, they didn't want to applaud because there was nothing to applaud. But they were afraid that the camera was on them last night, and if they didn't stand up when the Dems were applauding on the other side of the aisle, that they would have been called racist this morning all over everywhere. So you saw a lot of people applauding simply to avoid being called racist. And what is going on in the House of Representatives? What is going on in our nation? We got ourselves a full-scale, publicized, dignified race war going on in our nation. Obama wasn't that interesting last night. That voodoo speech he gave, that wish list about, creating 3.5 million jobs. Everybody knows that that was not the deal and ain't going to be the deal. But racism is alive and well. And by the way, only black people can say racism is alive and well. That's why I'm saying it. I mean, Rush Limbaugh can't say that. Sean Hannity, he can't say racism is alive and well. It's a black thing. It's a black thing. You know, white folk can't talk about racism. Did you know that? White folk can't talk about racism right here in the nation that they've lived in and loved and bled and died for. They can't talk about racism. If they do, we'll send them to Guantanamo Bay. The NAACP will send any white person that says racism is alive and well in America. The NAACP will send them to Guantanamo Bay, to Australia. Well, I think they've got their thing straightened out in Australia. They're not sending prisoners there anymore. But at any rate, they'll send them somewhere. White folk can't even talk about racism. Did you know that? Black folk talk about racism all they want. That's why I'm talking about it. Rush Limbaugh can't talk like this. He can't talk like this. Sean Hannity can't talk like this. But I can. Any rate, my friends, we hot diggity dog. We've got ourselves a full-scale race war going on here in America. Obama versus Bobby Jindal and Michael Steele. And we're going to see how this thing is going to turn out. Who's going to win what? But I want to say this to you. Let me lower my tone here now. Let me tell you that America, the reason why this economy is going to deepen, the Great Recession is going to deepen and get deeper until it's so deep that you can't dig us out of it, is because Americans are afraid of Obama. People that voted for Obama back in November are beginning to fear what people who did not vote for him, who tried to tell all Americans that this man was not good for America. Now they are sensitive and they're seeing it, and therefore we're in a quandary where who's going to now put the bail on the cat? Who's going to stand up and say, first of all, he's an illegal alien constitutionally. He does not have the authority to serve as president. And by examining his passport, his birth certificates, his Columbia University his having attended that school, will demonstrate that he is not a U.S. citizen. Therefore, America goes into deeper and darker recession. Then they're going to pull up all the statements made by James David Manning, that he's a long-legged Mac Daddy, that he's a pimp par excellence, that he's an emissary of the devil, that his mama was white trash and his daddy was a iron-legged, pathetic digamist knocking up women all over everywhere, jumped on the first white woman he saw when he landed from the plane from the jungles of Kenya. All of that's going to be pulled up. And what are we going to do and how are we going to deal with it? More specifically, that he is now passing out these voodoo speeches. And listen, Americans are now looking at this long-legged Mac Daddy and are beginning to realize that he is at heart a socialist. That the label of a Muslim doesn't wear as well as the label of a socialist. And that very possibly he's using this crisis that we're in at present to socialize medicine, to socialize industry, to socialize and suppress free speech, to socialize the banking industry, that he is using this crisis to be able to push through a socialist agenda.